Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the channel. We're in the tail end here of day 120 on the Budget Lydia challenge. That's right, we got our Arbiter after doing our Mystery Shard only challenge on day 100. So this is going to be the 4th monthly progress update, and these are separate from my regular progress updates. In these monthly videos, I go over every aspect of the account in just a broad overview sense, showing all the champs, how they're geared, all the different progress points that I've done in the past 30 days. And in this way, it just makes it easier for me to go back and see where I was every 30 days, just so I can kind of compare my progress as I continue. So yeah, we're just going to start right in with it and show some of the progress we've done. Like our Great Hall is looking pretty sexy now. Since they changed the arena, obviously made it much easier to farm medals. So I'm farming, generally, I think I'm farming about 35 to 40 fights a day. So yeah. I do take some iffy fights and sometimes I lose, but mostly I'm just farming one-person defenses. The accuracy here is what I'm focused on. I'm going to max these out, while at the same time taking these to 6. And then once those are maxed, I'll start maxing these out, while taking all of these to 6. Attack is going to be the last priority for me, since it only affects a handful of champions. And I'd much rather boost my hit points, defense, crit damage before I take on attack. In terms of the fragments and fusions, I am 3 short days away from getting Drexthar. I'm going to wait to pull and book him for the CVC that's upcoming. Or I might actually consider waiting for the next champ chase, which is happening during a fusion. I haven't done any of the fusions up until this point. One of my rules is I can't use fusions for free, like the time-limited fusions. If you're curious about the account rules, I post them in every video description, so they'll be down below. But essentially, if I want to unlock a legendary, I have to complete Faction Wars 21 for that faction first, and then I only have 1 legendary unlock per faction. So if I wanted to use like Gaius, which would have been a great champ to go for, I would have had to clear Knights Rev 21 first before I used them, and that is not happening anytime soon. So the upcoming one, the Demon Spawn, I actually have a chance to complete it relatively soon, once I max out my Drexthar. I think using him and a couple of the other champs I have leveled, I can probably get close to 21. And we do have the 2x Ancients coming up, where I hope to pull an Allure, which would obviously make it exceptionally easy to clear. But we'll see. That's in my mind. I'm probably going to try to do the fusion anyways, if I don't have to go out of my way, and just have that champion in case I want to unlock it someday. So Drexthar is huge, gonna do a lot for our account. Gonna use him to farm Spider 20, which until now I've only done Spider for the Arbiter missions. But with Drexthar in there, we can do Spider 20. I'm also getting Hellmut this month, I hope. The Doom Tower has just reset, and we haven't used any of our secret rooms for this rotation yet. So I just need to clear 10 of them and I can get my Hellmut, which will be great for Bannerlord's faction. And some dungeon content, Doom Tower and stuff. He's a great CC champ. Mithrala, the last 3 weeks we've been able to get the middle chest on normal. So we're starting to collect Mithrala fragments. It'll be quite a while before we're able to summon her, but you know, we're happy to be chipping away on it finally. In terms of the fusions, I have all the epics needed to fuse rhazin. But I also want to fuse another Torture Helm, so I have one for my Orcs Faction Wars and for secret rooms and stuff like that. And I want to fuse 2 more Lich. I want to have 2 Lich available for Undead Faction Wars 21. Which, I have 2 of every champ except for Penitent. I still need 2 more Penitents. So it's a bit unfortunate. We're hoping for some luck with our ancient pulls. We've got 97. By the time 2x comes around, we'll probably have like 110 or so. So hopefully we get some luck there. In terms of missions, we are on the Fuse Rhazin mission. So yeah, we're basically just waiting for those penitents to come through. Faction Guardians, pretty much all the rares maxed out. We're missing a couple for Orc. I think I used some as food. Food or fusion. And then we're missing some for Shadowkin as well. So we'll hopefully pick up some copies there. Dark Elves, I have enough to fill it out, but because of my gearing, I don't want Kale to have that 3 speed. So yeah, I'm not going to fill it out for now. Where else are we? Challenges, we're still sitting on the same 2. I'll do those eventually when I need a hit points champ in regen, and when I gear out an attack champ in retaliation, which I don't know when that'll be, or whenever I need those epic books, I'll just go ahead and finish it off. In the past, I've slowly been leveling my referral accounts with BlueStacks, and every once in a while I'll log into one of them and collect some energy, do the dailies, and just run it on auto. And especially now where we have like a promo code, the 13 years Plarium, as well as the free gift which has 1,000 energy, I'll make sure to log into each one of these accounts during the event so I can pick that up and just hold on to it. But ultimately I'd like to get these 4 Sacreds sometime in the next couple of months, just for extra summon rush points, champ chase points, and to hopefully pull some quality epics that we can unlock. Banner Lords, we're looking for Stag Knight or Ursala. Those would be our epic unlocks. And for legendary, I'd probably just be happy with like a Sethalia, a Sigmund. Manaya would be cool if I get a Coronar. That would be a sweet pair to unlock. Helior would be fun. Raglan would be dope. High Elves, we actually finished all of the faction this month using our Arbiter unlock. Oh, since we got Arbiter, she was automatically unlocked because she's a free legendary. But here we're looking for Tatura or Lysandra. Also, Elenarl could be good for some stuff, or Ithos would be fun. So those are what I'm thinking there. For the epics, I am basically just waiting to get a Royal Guard. He's pretty much the only irreplaceable High Elf epic. Sacred Order, we have our Venus still, was our first Void Legendary pull. We're going to unlock her when we get to 21. Unless by some miracle we pull like a Cardial or something in the meantime, then I might choose him instead. For the epic, we're waiting on Deacon, Cardinal, or Godseeker Aniri. Those 3 would make it possible for me to clear 21. Any one of those 3, if I unlock them, will be able to clear 21. And they also have some decent utility outside of that. Like Godseeker would be great for Clan Boss and Doom Tower. Deacon would be good for Clan Boss and Arena. Cardinal for Arena, stuff like that. We finished our Barbarians 21 this month as well, using a team of uncommons and rares. And we unlocked Tuhanarak, which was our second Void Legendary pull. Already 2 Void Legos in 70 days, or sorry, in 70 shards basically. Pretty crazy. I haven't started using her yet, so if I pull like a Valkyrie on the 2x, I would probably unlock her instead. Ursaga would be another really fun one to play with, but I have separate unlocks for arena champs only. So if I pulled one of her, I might consider using an arena unlock for her. In terms of epics, I did pull a Sky Touch Shaman, which is pretty useful in places like Arena and some Doom Tower. But really the champ I want is Farrakhan the Fat. So I'm just holding out until I pull him. Otherwise, if I'm like a year in and I haven't pulled him, I'll just go with Sky Touched. Ogryn Tribes, we're gonna unlock Ugo once we've cleared Faction Wars 14. And for the legendaries, I would prefer probably, I don't know, maybe Ignatius, Biggin, or Gurgo, but I'm not too fussed about any of them, so don't really care about that. Lizardman, legendary, I would take a Chagger, I would take a Fushan, I would take a Krisk. Draco's great, but honestly, I played with Draco a lot on my main free-to-play. And, like, he's great, but definitely replaceable in dungeon content. And I probably won't be building an unkillable clan boss team, so he loses a lot of value there. So I'd much rather go with, like, a Fushan or a Krisk, just for fun. Epics, I unlocked Venomage. He's been an absolute beast on the account. Looking forward to seeing what he's capable of in like secret rooms and in higher level Doom Tower. Skinwalkers, we would like Coronar would be absolutely phenomenal. Leorius, or failing those two, I think Hakorn or Brachus would be fun. Maybe even Norog. For epics, we did pull a Steel Skull, which we can unlock if we want, but I would prefer Holfaries. She just makes gearing for the Faction Wars 21 boss much easier. And I still haven't pulled a Fleshmonger, who is going to be my main DPS for that faction. So we're waiting on him, hopefully pull him during the 2x. For orcs, we've got a few good options for the Legos. Kreela would be alright. Nogdar would be fun. Iron Brago would probably be my ideal. He's just so strong everywhere in the game. And then of course Warlord, if I do manage to pull one, would be probably the best orc Lego in the game. For the epics, I pulled Old Hermit Yorg, which I'm considering unlocking. Other good unlocks might be Vrask or Sandlashed. And then Seer is locked behind completing my first rotation of Hard Doom Tower. So I haven't pulled her yet, but if I do, I'll have to wait until I can clear Hard Doom Tower before I use her. And then I can only use her in places I've already cleared before without her. So yeah, she'll be minimally useful. I won't be able to use her on Faction Wars the first time around, or on Hard Doom Tower through the first clears. But afterwards, I can use her to speed up runs. Demon Spawn, like I said, we want an Allure. She's pretty much the only epic that is irreplaceable. Everybody else has counterparts that can do similar jobs, except Allure. And she enables like Fire Knight and a lot of Hard Doom Tower strats for Dark Fae and stuff. For the legendaries, we have Duchess, who we used our first arena unlock on. So I can use her in arena and 3v3 arena, and I can also use her to farm Faction Wars once I've already cleared the stage. But I can't use her to push new content, and I don't use her in dungeons or anything like that. Tyrant we have here would be a great unlock for Demon Spawn once I clear 21. But I also am thinking of doing the upcoming fusion, so if I get him, I might opt to go with the new fusion instead. Or if I were to pull a Wither, I would probably go with Wither. Undead Horde, I would love to get a Rotos and Siphi for an arena unlock. For regular unlock, I'd probably go with, obviously, like if I get a Mashald, That would be my number one. Otherwise, Necret is great. Bad Elves good, but I don't want to use them because I used them a lot on my old account. Just something new and something interesting. Maybe a Nethril. Something like that. Vlad would be cool. And for epics, I would love a Gorgorab, but the strategy I'm using for 21, it might be better to get a Vogoth or even a Husk. I think Husk could be a good unlock. And then he also gets used a lot in Hydra, so we'll see. We'll see about that. It's going to depend largely on who we pull. Dark Elves. I'd probably go for Ghostborn. Ghostborn, Zavia, or Vizier would be the three that I'd like to unlock if I pull them. Yeah, this faction is pretty stacked with champions. Once you unlock Mithrala, you get Vizix from the daily logins. So just those two alone, plus Dark Kael from Doom Tower. My epic unlock, I would like to be either Sylar or Madame Ceres. So probably whichever one of them I pull first, I'll unlock. Sylar, I think, would be more useful in hard Doom Tower. And Madame Ceres would be useful in 3v3 Arena. But as it stands, I've got Painkeeper, Kael, a Cold Heart. So like those three along with a Sylar or Madame Ceres and a Vizix or Mithrala could probably clear 21 pretty easily. Knights Rev. I'd really love a Hegemon. I think that'd be tons of fun to play with. Probably not going to happen. My number one choice for unlock would be Tomb Lord. The first time I clear Faction Wars 21, it's likely not going to be anywhere close to 3-star. But if I pull a Tomb Lord and then I can unlock him after that, it would make it possible to do 21 with the strategy that I have in mind. I've pulled a couple decent epics here, but I'm saving my unlock for the partner duo of Skullcrown and Sinacia. I just honestly don't think there's any other way for me to clear Faction Wars 21 unless I use that partner unlock. And they'd probably both be in stun sets, or maybe Skullcrown in Destroy. But that's what I'm thinking. And then I'll throw in Renegade, maybe Acolyte. If I pull an extra Magus, I could probably use her or Crimson Slayer. But that's going to be one of the last factions we ever clear, probably. For Dwarves, I'd love a Brogni. I'd love Herndig. Obviously, Molly and Torment are great. For Epics, I unlocked Geomancer. It's going to be a pretty tough Faction Wars to clear because it's the one that does the huge single target damage. And I'll have no revivers. So the plan is to run Geomancer, Candleguard, Kurzad, and Painsmith, all in just as much damage and speed as possible. And then I will run a Hatchet Slinger, who has the 2-turn unkillable that he puts on himself. And I'll put him in a Stone Skin set so that he can survive through the waves. And once I get to the boss, he can tank the first 2 or 3 hits, and then put his unkillable up and tank another 2 or 3 hits. And then Geomancer can drain the boss's turn meter, and I'm just hoping that's enough damage to take him down. That'll be a pretty sketchy one though. Shadowkin. There's a ton of great Shadowkin champs I'd love to unlock. Lady Kimmy, Yoshi, Genzen, Kyoku, Riho, Yumiko. I would take any one of them. And then for the epics, I'm waiting on Toragi. I think he'll give me the best chance of being able to clear Faction Wars 21. with a budget team. Failing that, I think maybe Hotatsu or Chani, maybe Oboro or Genbo could do enough damage to take down the boss. I don't know. I've never done the Shadowkin boss, so I forget which one it is, but I'll figure it out as I get closer. So we'll move to the dungeons now. I can farm all the dungeon potion keep 20s on auto. My Minotaur 15 team is Apothecary plus Venomage. And then I just put in whoever I want to level and get masteries for. Ice Golem, I haven't touched it since the Arbiter missions. But this is the team I was farming it with. If I go back in there now, I would probably run something like this. And I think that would be a suitable team for it. And I'm sure it'll speed up quite a bit with that. Spider's Den we also haven't touched since the Arbiter missions. But this was the team I was autoing it with. It was about a 10% success rate. So I had to spend a ton of energy, an absolute metric shit ton of energy finishing the Arbiter missions. When I get back to it, I'm going to be running something like where's my Cold Heart? Oh. Something like that, along with Drexthar. And then I'll get the AoE HP and burn, lots of turn meter control. Or I can just put in Drexthar here and put in Arbiter for a support and heals and revive. Dragon Slayer, we're easily farming 24 on auto. 100% success rate with this team. I'm not really too fussed about making any upgrades here quite yet. And Fire Knight, we're farming 20. It's a 5-minute run, sometimes 6 minutes depending on RNG. 100% success rate. Our Cold Heart isn't fully booked yet, so it'll get a little bit faster once she's booked. And some of the upgrades I'm looking to make here. I think I'd like to get rid of Apothecary soon and Kale. And then I would hopefully have like an Allure to put in. And then some kind of better AoE damage dealer than Kale to speed up the waves. And then eventually I can take her out and put in Lydia. Clan Boss. We've made some big gains in Clan Boss since finishing Arbiter. Because we're able to use Geomancer and Venomage now. So Ultra Nightmare, we are... Where are we? Yeah, we're 4 keying Magic and Spirit Affinity. And we're 5 keying Void and Force. So it's kind of unreliable. Like, if I don't get 2 keys in right at reset, then, you know, if it turns into Force, I'm screwed. I won't be able to get it done. So what I've been doing is just waiting to see what affinity it is. If it's Magic or Spirit, I 4-key it. If it's Force, then I use my keys on Nightmare and Brutal. Nightmare, I am 2-keying any affinity. And Brutal, I'm 1-keying any affinity. And, yeah. And the team is... Well, I just showed it, but the team is Geo, Kale, Bogwalker, Apo, and Venomage. And some changes I'm looking to make soon would be taking out Kale, taking out Bogwalker, and maybe putting in Tuhanarak. And then, if I unlock Tyrant, I would like to add him as well for more damage reduction. But if I don't unlock Tyrant, maybe this new fusion champ would be somebody I build a team around. But we'll see. I'm pretty happy with where we're at right now. Doom Tower. So going back in time to the first Doom Tower normal, we made it to floor 49, and that was Eternal Dragon. The next rotation was Bommel, where we made it to floor 90 on that rotation. And then we went to Frost Spider, where I cleared it all the way to 120. That was our first normal Doom Tower clear on day 70, I think. And then after that, we did Eternal Dragon all the way to 120. And this rotation is Bommel again, and I'm hoping to be able to clear 120. I've been doing pretty good progress in the secret rooms as well. As you saw, we're like 72 fragments on our helmet, so we should get him this month and start working towards Akoth. In terms of hard Doom Tower, I haven't had enough crowd control to really push this at all. So I think I've made it to like floor 4 or 7 or something on one of the rotations. This time around, I want to try to make it to Bommel. I'm going to have Drexthar, and I also have Bellower that I can level up and put in a stun set. Use him as another layer of crowd control. So the team I would run on hard Doom Tower will be something like this with Drexthar and either Bellower or Gnarhorn. But that's kind of what I'm thinking for how I'll progress. And if I need to, I can just throw in like another Reviver. Geo could be useful in a stun set if I want to switch his gear up. So we've got some options coming around. Just going to depend on what the waves are that I'm getting stuck on. And finally, we're going to go over all of our champs, how they're geared, who has masteries, and then we'll take a look through our full gear selection. So Arbiter we unlocked on day 100. Looking pretty good. I sacrificed some speed in her build to get her more tanky. But if the arena ever goes back to its previous form, I can upgrade some speed here by switching out these pieces. She's fully booked. And full masteries, went with Unshakable. And over here I'm going to go for Spirit Haste, just for some more speed. Broadmaw, we're running Timely Intervention. He's fully booked. And we've still got him into pretty much the exact same gear we've always had him in since we got him. Fast Relentless, cycles around to his revives much more often. He could use a lot more accuracy, so a lot of that will come from the Great Hall. And that'll help big time in Faction Wars. Venomage, Lifesteal and Perception. Lots of Revenge accessories. Fully booked. And we're running him in War Master for Clan Boss, with Kill Streak and Spirit Haste for Secret Rooms and for Faction Wars content. Spy Master, we downgraded his gear a bit, so he's very hurting on speed right now. But he's in Lifesteal. He's our main damage dealer for Bannerlords. I also use him in Hydra, and he's got this A1 which decreases duration of buffs, 2 random buffs on the target by 1 turn, which is actually quite nice for Hydra, along with block buffs. And since they changed the Head of Decay, he can actually provoke the Head of Decay now. And someday when I put him in a high resistance build, he'll put an extra buff on himself and he'll tank the buff steal as well. He's running War Master, kill streak, and spirit haste for faction wars. Bogwalker and lifesteal, basically the same gear I've always had him in. Just running him tanky, decent speed, fully booked, and Warmaster. War Maiden, Warmaster with Ruthless Ambush and Shieldbreaker for Arena. She is the first one to go, and she actually does a decent chunk of damage how I have her geared. So using those breaks through shields if the enemy has them. Fully booked, and lots of revenge accessories on her too, because up until recently I used her in Clan Boss. Candle Guard, rocking our old Shield Guard gear. Decent speed, decent stats, lifesteal, good for faction wars. No books, and Warmaster. Life Taker's semi-retired, but I still have her geared up. Way too much accuracy. I geared her up before I had finished my Magic Act in the Great Hall, but she is full booked. Whoops. She's fully booked and just running half masteries. I might redo her soon for Warmaster or Giant Slayer, just because I need extra damage for Shadowkin faction, so that could help there. Kale, still use him in almost every team. Warmaster, fully booked, and then I got him into crit damage gloves, so he's doing some very, very nice damage in Arena and in Clan Boss too. I don't know why I keep pushing that button. Apothecary, same gear I've had him in. Fully booked. Giant Slayer masteries. Zephyr Sniper I use in Faction Wars and Hydra. And she's actually a really decently tanky Hydra option. With 3 revenge accessories plus Warmaster and Retaliation. She gets a lot of auto attacks off and does a pretty nice chunk of damage. Shield Guard, I upgraded his gear a bit, so this is what he's rocking. Fully booked, and Warmaster. I use him in 3v3 Arena as well, so I went with Ruthless Ambush here. Our first Armiger, really fast, relentless. Full books. Warmaster, Spirit Haste. Second Armiger is the exact same, except not in Relentless. High Katoon, just running a hybrid speed and perception sets. A little bit low accuracy, but enough for what I needed her for, which was Faction Wars. Full books, and just a couple masteries on her to get more speed from Lore of Steel. Soulbond Boyer in a stun set. I recently took her chest off to use on Bellower. Fully booked. Fearsome Presence. Geomancer. Lifesteal and speed. Lots of accuracy. A little bit of crit rate for some bonus damage in Clan Boss. And then I just tried to get as much defense on him and hit points as possible. He's also full books. And Warmaster. Kurzad Deepheart here for the Dwarves. I had to 6-star him to clear Dwarves 14 to unlock Geo. No books and mixture of perception and speed. Painsmith with Lifesteal. He does a decent amount of damage for Faction Wars. Again, no books, and he's going to be getting Helm Smasher. So that's what his masteries look like now. I'm going to go down to Helm Smasher, and I might use him in 3v3 Arena. Duchess we use only in Arena. She's still level 50, but she's a beast, man. I can't believe how tanky this champion is, even at level 50. Looking forward to getting her to 60 soon. I have her fully booked. And I'm running her in some of my Swift Parry gear. So like once I get to 60, these stats are going to go up quite a bit. I'd like to get her in more resistance. So if I can get a resistance banner for her, that'd be optimal. And I have a few upgrades for Swift Parry gear that I can throw on her when I need to. Relickeeper. Just in a trash lifesteal set. He is fully booked. I do want to use him still in Faction Wars and maybe 3v3. But he's fallen very far from off the priority list. No masteries. Coldheart got a couple masteries. No books, unfortunately. Rare books are very hard to come by, and I've wasted quite a lot of them because of my Mystery Shard challenge. I've had to book champions that I wouldn't have usually booked. But whatever, she's in Destroy gear. Would like to boost her damage a bit, but this does the job. Ogryn Jailer. Very strong damage dealer. No books, no masteries. Acolyte, no masteries. I got one book in his cooldown. And he's in half gear. Mystic Hand, I'm probably going to turn into a 5-star chicken once I replace him. But for now I use him in Faction Wars and Magic Keep 20. Myrmidon is Faction Wars. He's got a few masteries and no books currently. Coffin Smasher, no books. Haven't really worked on him yet. One mastery. Aethel's got a few masteries, no books. High damage Relentless set for Faction Wars. And the reason I'm not putting her in lifesteal is because the champions that I want to unlock to finish Sacred Order are all either revivers or turn meter manipulators. So if I get a Deacon along with 2 Armigers, it's very rare that they'll even get a turn. So I'm banking on her not needing to heal herself that much. Same with Alhaine, she's paired with revivers and healers. Arbiter and Apothecary. So I've got her in high damage Relentless. No books, a few masteries. Gallic, few masteries, no books. Lifesteal gear needs some work. My second Apothecary Toxic set for a bit of extra damage for Faction Wars. But now that I've cleared 21, I'm probably going to put him in something else. But he's not a priority. Banshee. 1 mastery, no books. My second Soul Bond is actually fully booked. I thought I would need 2 of her for Spider, and that didn't end up being the case, so I made a pretty big mistake there. But eventually I'll use her in a secret room, so it's not the worst. Mother Superior, no books. Master Butcher, no books. Marquess is full booked. Use her as a defense nuker in 3v3. Those are her masteries. Gnarlhorn, I believe he's got books, yeah. So he's going to be useful in Faction Wars and Doom Tower. Spirit Host, Commander, Painkeeper, Fanatic, Torture Helm, Shaman, Tuhanarak. Don't know if I'm going to use her yet. I'm going to wait for 2x Ancients. If I pull a Valk, then I'm going to throw this girl back in the vault probably. Lich for Faction Wars. Jizzo. This guy I don't use anymore. Some of these champs I'm going to turn into chickens when I find better replacements for them. Fellhound. Doomscreech. 3v3 arena champ. And the rest of these are just all Faction Wars dudes. Or eventually will be chickens. So I'm just going to click through so you can kind of see. And if you want to pause at any of them, you can. Elfguard was part of my Faction Wars 21 team. Bellowers I'm working on so I can unlock Ugo. Jaeger here I'm keeping for Dark Fae. I'm going to do a Jaeger Dark Elhain strategy where he goes first and freezes her, and then she nukes the team down. And yeah, so that's it for champs. We can look in the vault here just to see what I have that I haven't unlocked yet. So Venus, I'm going to unlock at Sacred Order 21. Demon Spawn 21 for Tyrant. Ogryn 14 for Ugo. Perhaps I'm going to use an Arena unlock for Basher. I could use my High Elves unlock for Deliana, but I'd rather just wait since I don't need Deliana for anything, and I've already cleared Faction Wars 21 3-star, so it doesn't matter. Not going to use any of these. Old Hermit I'm going to unlock with Orcs 14. Magnar I'm going to unlock as my next Arena unlock, probably. Steel Skull might be my Shadow Skinwalker, sorry. I was going to say Shadowkin. Skinwalker unlocked for 14. And I've just got a bunch of Faction Guardians and dupe copies of champions that I'm going to use as books eventually. So I'm just holding on to them because I think they're relevant and could be important. And obviously as I go, I'm just going to turn extra champs into chickens and books. In terms of gear, I'm saving all my 5 and 6 star glyphs for the Ramontu missions, but the rest I use pretty liberally. Whenever a clan v clan is open, I throw glyphs on some champs. And then I'm just going to scan down my gear, just for those curious about how much gear I have and how much I've leveled. I still use the airplane mode trick. I haven't farmed much spider because I don't have a consistent spider 20 team. So most of my accessories come from clan shop gold. But once I get drexthar up and running, I'm going to be farming spider 20 quite a lot. And I'll hopefully be able to cleanse all my terrible accessories out of here. So those are all my accessories. And then I'll show, here's all my 4-star accessories that I'm still using. Mostly speed set and a few lifesteal set. I'm keeping some pieces that probably will never get used, but I have them just in case. Some perception, which gives the awesome 2-set bonus. My account's pretty much past keeping 4-star. Unless it's a set that's absolutely god tier, like Stone Skin. And then we will check out all my 5 and 6-star gear. Now here's where you'll notice the difference between using airplane mode and not using airplane mode. If you think about where your account might be at day 120, and then just look at how many artifacts I have leveled to 12 and 16. There's very few artifacts that I'm hanging on to that aren't leveled up to 12 or 16 by now. Anything that's level 8 is probably an insta-sell next time I do a gear cleanse. And anything at level 10 is just waiting to be used for the airplane mode trick. For gear, I'm focused now on... Well, I do Dragon 24 3 times every day for my dungeon quest. And every Fire Knight tournament now, I will be farming for stun gear and regen gear, which is a huge priority for me. I don't care much about the other sets from Fire Knight, but Savage is cool too, I guess. Dragon, I still need a lot more lifesteal. It might look like a lot of lifesteal here, but I have like probably 10 more champs that I want to gear up in lifesteal. And I also need good quality pieces to upgrade some champs. So I don't think I'll ever stop farming lifesteal on this account, just because I have to do the factions with a very limited supply of, like, a very limited champ pool. So having champions that can self-heal is going to be massive. That's where lifesteal and regen comes in. And then of course Frost set is great for Gnarlhorn. That's pretty much the only champion I'm saving pieces for. Frenzy set for Tuhanarak would be good. Or if you have a Doom Priest, great for Doom Priest. Good for Nogdar. It's actually meta for Nogdar. I don't think you'd want to build a Nogdar without Frenzy set. Here's my regen gear now. It's starting to look a little bit better. Yeah, I'm just going to scroll through and you can take a look. I'm still winning pretty much every tag team arena tournament. So my 6-star Relentless selection goes up every week, every other week. I win as many champ training tournaments as possible. Once in a while I'll place in a classic arena tournament or a dungeon tournament. Savage, we just started running Fire Knight recently, so there's nothing much there. We've got a couple of really nice destroy sets. So I have one on Coldheart, and I'm going to use them for Orc Faction 21 and Night Revs Faction 21. Starting to improve our stun gear selection just slightly. I'm going to need like probably 10 times this amount of gear to get the quality of sets that I'll need out of it. Toxic, got a couple decent sets in there. Avenging, I just keep a couple of sets around, mostly just good broken pieces. Like this is a really solid resistance tank weapon. Stalwart, great for clan boss or for some support champs to get them through Faction Wars bosses. And then now that I'm doing Ultra Nightmare, my Cruel set gear has been expanding considerably. So we're starting to get some really solid sets put together here. Same with Immortal. Some Divine gear from Arena Wins, or like Arena Weekly Rewards. Divine Speed, I've got some pretty solid sets in there. And then my Swift Parry. I've crafted all this over the past 2 Clan v Clans. And the only champion I really care about is Duchess. But someday I might get another champion worth putting in Swift Parry. Resilience collection looking pretty good. But since I've been using all my materials for Swift Parry, I haven't crafted much of this lately. Perception. Starting to get a ton of perception gear. I'm almost due for another gear cleanse, but I'm gonna wait until I can farm Spider 20 and get some more Fire Knight gear. So that's all the gear I'm rocking. Oh, our day reset. Wonderful. We've got quite a bit of perception now coming in because we're in some higher tier faction wars. So that's what we've got for next CVC. Then we've also got another 14 Swift Parry to craft. And here's what our faction wars looks like. So 545 stars. Waiting on anything that's like down here is just waiting on champs to be built. Lizardman, we're waiting on rhazin to fuse. Undead Horde was Dark Elhain, which I'm building this month. So expect this to be up around 50 stars by next month. Ogryn Tribes, I've got 2 Bellowers in the works, plus Ogryn Jailer and a Roughstone. So once I build them out and get more stun sets, this will be probably up to 50 stars next month. Orc is a tough one. I'm building Torture Helm, Shaman, Gallic, and we'll see how they pan out. Demon Spawn is going to be almost maxed once I get Drexthar and a couple other champs to 60. If I do manage to pull an Allure, this will probably be finished by next month. High Elves is done. I just need to 3-star stage 16, which I'll do next time it's open, tomorrow. Sacred Order, we're waiting for Deacon, Cardinal, or Godseeker Aniri. Barbarian is finished. I just need to 3-star one more stage, which will be easy to do in 2 days. Shadowkin, I just need more 60s. I have some champs that are decent. I just need to 60 them. And then get past the 14 boss, and then pull a Taragi. And then we'll see where we're at after that. Dwarves, I'm past the second boss. It's just a matter of getting stun sets in there, so I can work my way through the remaining waves. And then gearing up for the boss cheese. And then Bannerlords, I haven't pushed much in here. I'm waiting for Hellmut, which again is this month, hopefully. And then we'll push past stage 14. And once I get a Stag Knight or Ursala, I will finish the rest. Anyways, that is our update for this month. Yeah, these videos are more for myself, so I can look back at this once the series is over and see where I was progressing every month. But if you're watching and enjoying, I appreciate the support. I'm going to leave it there for now, and then I'll probably be posting another one of my daily progress updates sometime over the next day or two. Anywho, thank you for watching. I will catch you in the next one.